trainee, welcoming you back to my series on resilience. In the last video, we talked about optimism. Before I go into strategies about dealing with negative events, I wanted to emphasize a couple of points about what optimism isn't about. It's definitely not about looking at life through rose-tinted spectacles and ignoring the reality of what's happened. Instead, it's important to remember that being optimistic is a set of beliefs which make sure that you do not blame yourself when things go wrong or events happen which could probably are out of your control. A key part of dealing with negative events is to change your thinking process. That is essentially the main strategy. So, for example, resilience is all about changing your behavior. In order to change your behavior, you've got to change your thinking processes. Changing your thinking leads to the change in behavior, and that is the same way, in essence, that is the core strategy how you should deal with negative events. And there's a methodology, a method of dealing with it, which I go into great detail on my course. In essence, what I'm just going to say now is that if you change your thinking and your thoughts, and those, when things go wrong, that'll lead, and if you think about it properly, that'll change the way you view the event. And in the first instance, it will shift the blame away from yourself, which is quite a common and typical reaction to say, or to think, well, that went wrong, that was my fault, immediately, without looking at the facts of what's happened. In essence, it's about reframing events based on the facts, not on your beliefs or your thought processes. It's about reframing events based on facts, not on your beliefs. And that could be a mantra you use to yourself, actually, when things go wrong. Start saying that to yourself. But what are the facts behind what's happened, not what's happened based on my beliefs? I think it's worthwhile giving everyone an example. Typically, if we work for somebody, we go for a promotion. And sometimes, it's going to happen. You don't always get the promotion you feel you deserve or you want. And then you feel really down and you blame yourself, and immediately you start thinking, oh, that just shows I'm not good enough. That's the first thing that goes through your head. Oh, I'm not good enough. I didn't deserve it anyway. It might well be that there are issues beyond your control. There probably are issues beyond your control as to the real reasons you didn't get that role or that promotion. But we tend to look inward and blame ourselves for something that we cannot control. It might be due to if you look at the evidence, it could be because of bias from the interviewer, and the interviewer had someone else in mind in any case. It might actually mean that it could be because you're overqualified for the role. Perhaps you're too good for that role. Perhaps they've got something else in mind for you. So there are a number of other reasons which mean that it's nothing to do with you. And in the heat of the moment, it's very difficult to actually look objectively. So what you need to do, which is also helpful, is to take some time out and try and possibly observe your feelings and emotions and then write about them, but then think objectively what could be the other possible reasons that you didn't get that job. And 9 times out of 10, I'm sure, and I bet you, it's not because of yourself. Quick summary. Dealing with the negative events, best way to do it is to actually reframe the event. Take the blame and onus away from your own beliefs, thinking it's to do with you. Look at the facts.